In a world where higher education grows more complex, more expensive, and more essential by the day, one voice stands ready to guide us through the noise. Welcome to the show. Today, we step into the mind of Professor Silvester Henderson, a distinguished college and university leader, an academic visionary, and one of the nation's most trusted voices in common-sense financial strategy. For decades, Professor Henderson has empowered students, strengthened institutions, and counseled families on one of the most pressing questions of our time. How do we afford college without sacrificing our financial future? But his guidance doesn't stop there. Professor Henderson brings to this podcast the 5 critical and essential points every student and every family must understand before attending college. Know the true cost, beyond the brochure and beyond the sticker price. Understand all funding pathways, scholarships, grants, work-study, and responsible borrowing. Choose the right institution for your goals, because purpose outweighs prestige. Evaluate the return on education, aligning your major with real-world opportunity. Plan as a family, because college is a shared journey, not an isolated decision. These aren't just ideas, they're the foundation for educational success and long-term financial stability. Please welcome Professor Silvester Henderson to our stage and learning hall. The Professor Silvester Henderson Financial College Success Blueprint. 1. Have you and your parents clearly discussed what your family can realistically afford for college?
Wow. First of all, thank you once again for inviting me to speak about a real critical and essential topic. Students are getting out of college today with way too much debt. As a veteran college professor, when I attended college many years ago, back in 1977, I never took out a loan. I paid my own way through college. I think my mother gave me $69. That's all she could afford. She was deeply poor. And I did everything else myself, not a cent. I came out with no debt. And I'm really glad I went to college like that. I went to San Francisco State University. And I'm really glad I did, because I didn't have the burden that many have, carrying $100,000 and $200,000 of debt, and many people never pay it off. So in any regard, I want to answer this question. Have you and your parents clearly discussed what your family can realistically afford for college? I did, or at least we need to. Students need to, I should say. As a veteran college professor and administrator, I've seen over and over that success begins with honesty and preparation. That means having a real conversation about what one can afford is very essential. Community colleges, state universities, and online programs are all powerful starting points, especially when paired with grants and scholarship. What matters most is avoiding unrealistic financial expectations and choosing a path that respects the hard work that makes one's education possible. Starting smart is a sign of maturity, not limitations.
2. Does the college you want to attend provide a return on investment that justifies the debt you may take on?
A degree should expand one's opportunity, not trap them into debt that limits their future. As a college professor, I'm constantly reminded that the value of an education comes from the quality of teaching and not the opportunity it creates, not the brand name on the sweatshirt. Before taking on loans, I believe one should maximize scholarship, grants, and other forms of free aid, because those reduce the financial burden without sacrificing educational quality.
3. Are you choosing your school based on educational value rather than emotion, pressure, or prestige?
This is really central, especially for many high school students. You hear a lot of times high school students talking about, oh, I'm going to Harvard, I'm going to Yale, I'm going to Princeton, and all those things are good from my perspective if they can find a way to attend those institutions without cost. Prestige can be tempting. Once again, I want to say prestige can be really tempting, but it doesn't pay the bills after you get out of college. Any experienced professor would tell you that educational value, affordability, and the commitment of the faculty matters far more. Community college is a strong option, especially when combined with transfer pathways and financial aid. Many dedicated, hardworking educators teach at community colleges, and they can prepare a student just as well, sometimes better, than a professor at an elite institution.
4. Do you fully understand the long-term consequences of student loans and how they will affect your future choices?
That's another question that I continuously ask most of my family that I aware. I'm becoming more aware of how serious student loans really are. They're not just numbers on papers. They can shape one's life for decades. Interest grows, payments follow, and they can limit one's freedom to choose where they live, what job they take, or how soon they can begin to create a financial base for them and their family. That's why I urge all students once again to pursue grants, scholarships, and low-cost pathways before borrowing any money. Loans should be a last resort, not a typical default option.
5. What advice are you offering students to reduce how much they need to borrow?
Well, personally, I don't feel students should borrow anything. I think they should find effective ways to work. I did it and figure it out. But let me be clear, the smartest money you'll ever make is the money you never have to pay back. If you want to reduce how much one borrows for going to college, you must move your life with strategy, discipline, and common sense. Excuse me, not emotion, not ego, and not pressure from anybody else. Going to college is supposed to improve one's life, not to create such a long eternal debt that you become 60 or 65 and you're still paying off a $200,000 loan that you took when you were 18 years old. And that happens more frequently than not. Having answered these questions, I want to thank you once again for allowing me to appear on this podcast. The Professor Silvester Henderson College Success Blueprint. Do have a wonderful afternoon. God bless you. And I hope I was able to answer some questions that would make life easier for some young person. All right, God bless you. Bye-bye now.